It's you. I'm in my spot. All right. You moving.
Peace through love and light, everyone. How you doing? It's your girl Cherie Soul. I'm infinitely grateful to be here with you guys today, and I have my wonderful counterparts with me. We got Mr. Sax Preacher over here, the one and only amazing saxophonist, teacher, minister, you name it. We got Minister Taharka Shakur. He's also a wonderful friend of mine, and I'm grateful to be here before both of these brothers, and of course, the most beautiful Brenda Robinson. Infinitely grateful to be here with Sistar. And you're going to get some perspectives from two so-called millennials and two baby boomers. And we want to welcome y'all to the Black View. All right. We should call this the Black View 2.0 or something because it's different. Yeah. So if some of y'all, yeah, for sure.
2.0.
If some of y'all were following us, pardon me, gentlemen. If some of y'all were following us before, we had a different platform, and we did this live through, or we actually didn't do it live. We did a taping of the Black View, and we would release it on YouTube. But now we got this platform, and we like this, y'all. New beginnings. How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling wild and ready.
Wild and ready. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know what that means, but we're going to figure it out. How you feeling, Ms. Robinson?
I'm feeling it out. See how we going to get through.
Most definitely. Because this is new, y'all. Yeah. Bear with us, all right? We hope that y'all enjoy our conversation. And just so you know, the opinions and views of each individual is their own opinion and view, okay? So the Black View is what you hear. It's our perspective, our view, voices from our community. We don't speak for everybody, but we hope that we speak for some. How you feeling?
I'm happy that we're doing this again. You know what I'm saying? I missed it. I missed us coming together to do this, and I like the new style of us doing it. It was nice being next to each other, but now it's nice to be around the table first and foremost.
Yeah.
That's a different feel.
Yeah, I love it.
And to be live, it gives us a different feel as well.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to how it goes.
Absolutely.
And how the show grows and having people to come in and actually say stuff while we live. I remember that one live session that we did have.
Yeah, it was great.
Hallelujah. We live, baby.
Live and in charge.
So we welcome you guys' comments and questions. If you have any, again, we want to hear from y'all. This is a platform for us to be able to have these discussions. Some of them will be playful, and some of them are very serious. Majority of them are serious. And today we got a few things to talk about. First and foremost, we wanted to talk about this Woman King thing that's going on. Y'all been hearing that everybody's going out to see the Woman King. Now, I haven't seen it yet, y'all. Not that I won't see it. I haven't seen it yet. Y'all seen anybody?
Oh, wow.
Anybody? He said, oh, wow. Okay, so you seen it.
Nope.
Oh, he said, oh, wow, because none of us seen it. So none of us seen it. Okay, that stands for something. Some of y'all that are viewing this might have seen it. Say it again.
I have a problem with it.
Okay, we're going to talk about that problem for sure. We want to hear about that because that's what we're going to be discussing. What is this promotion of woman being king? Now, I understand that that's a sensitive thing for a lot of folks. And some people are like, forget it. But no, everything needs to be looked at very, very deeply through a fine-tooth comb. You got to comb through it and find out what's the meaning, what's the purpose. And as of right now, you are seeing people that have not seen the movie, but we're talking about the title as of right now. And let's get into that. So how you feel, Sex Preacher? All right.
Well, I was asking. Vanessa can go first.
I feel great. The title in itself is what I have a problem with. I heard that the movie was great,
Me too.
but being a minister, it's a Bible verse that says, in the beginning was the Word,
Mm-hmm.
and words are powerful. And through repetition, those words can become real. If you constantly
Absolutely.
repeat it. So when I see, what is it, Woman King?
Woman King.
The Woman
The
King.
Woman King.
King,
Mm-hmm.
we had, not my queen, but the queen in England, she ruled for over 70 years,
Mm.
but she didn't have to call herself the Woman King.
Right.
She ruled as queen.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I'm looking at, because the people that produced this movie were Caucasian women,
Mm-hmm.
they've always been in competition with their man.
Right.
It's never been Black women like that. And so what I'm seeing that they were doing was subliminally replacing their man
Mm.
by taking on his title, because you could rule as queen.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you say Woman King? And based on the way this world is going upside down, you can look forward to the man queen.
Mm.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Absolutely. As said from the wonderful sex preacher, I hear you, brother, and that is very important that we keep that in mind, everyone. For those of you who've seen the film, sometimes you got to put your views aside of how good something is. Of course, it's going to be good. I mean, it's promoted very well.
Yeah.
Top-notch actors and
The
actresses.
actresses in
Of-
that movie.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
know it was
it's
a good movie.
inevitably going to be good. Not saying that every movie that has top-notch actors and actresses is good, but I had a feeling when I saw the trailer. Now we're going back to this title.
Yes, yes.
It is very important that we be mindful that the times that we are living in, we are stepping into new beginnings where
Yes.
there's stuff that's being normalized
Yes.
that was not when a lot of people were growing up.
Amen.
And
Yes.
that's very sensitive to our communities, especially because, we do have to be mindful of what the feminist movement did to the
Yes.
Black community.
Oh,
Yes,
And this is just the
absolutely.
reality. Again,
Absolutely.
these are our opinions and views.
Yes.
You have your own and you have a right to that. But if we are to be fair and respect everybody's opinion and view, there are people that grew up with certain things being very taboo to accept, to talk about, to experience, and especially their children growing up with those same views and sentiments. And me being a mother myself, I want my daughter to have a view of the world that exists around her, but to be able to
Question.
yes.
You would call your daughter princess or queen, right?
Yeah,
growing up, right?
absolutely.
You wouldn't
Mhm.
start saying, oh, my daughter gonna be a king. Would you start
No.
telling her that she a king?
No. And that's what I was going to get into, that my daughter, I would like for her
Yes.
to experience life as I feel she should as an innocent child.
Right.
And again, we're talking about a title, that could be sensitive. Some people are like, forget
The
it.
Queen of Sheba was a warrior.
Absolutely. But she
When
still
she
was a
got
queen
that
of
position-
Sheba. She wasn't a
Right.
queen
When
king.
She got that position. She didn't say, oh, shoot, I might well be king.
Mhm. It's kind of similar to when, and this might be sensitive. What about Father's Day and Mother's Day when they say Happy Mother's Day to men and Happy Father's Day to women?
Yes,
It's like,
right.
well, the man can't be the mother, the woman can't be the father, but they can have a role as the mother and the father in
They
a
can do the
sense,
best they
like,
can each
yeah,
year.
the best that they can.
They do the
And
best
that's
that they
just
can.
like a role, but it doesn't mean that they're a king or queen. If they,
Well, without us
Mm.
having seen the movie,
Mhm,
I don't know anything about it but the title.
mhm.
But do we know that in the movie, these women, that's the theme of the movie, that the women want to be king, or they end up calling themselves king? I know they're protecting.
They're king.
I mean, are they ended
Yeah.
up being
I've never
called?
seen it, so
That's what I'm saying. Do we
They
know
have been
that?
summoned.
Have you
know?
seen it?
No. Do we know
none of
that?
us seen
Well,
it.
the
Mm-mm.
trailers tell you the thing that the whole movie.
That's what I'm saying. So
Mhm.
is it that at the end of the movie, these women want to be king?
Or are they protecting?
They-
Or are they just
protecting the kids.
acting as?
So from what the trailer showed, and again, I think we should have watched one of us.
Yeah, we should have
before today.
But we
was
couldn't.
talking about the title.
We couldn't. I mean, for
Remember
now.
I was dealing with the title.
no, we did.
I heard the movie
Because
was
it's all
great.
about the title, y'all. Listen,
Right.
if y'all,
It's the
for those of
title
you
I
who've
was
seen the
talking about.
film, let us know what we don't know
Yeah.
as far as why you think it makes sense for it to be called the Woman King. But even
Right.
when you say that, we still have to be mindful of Hollywood.
Mhm.
Hollywood will push
It's Hollywood.
certain agendas, and they'll be very subtle about it. They'll be
Thank you.
very
Amen.
subtle, and it can creep in. The next thing you know, it's normalized,
Yes.
and you don't realize why. And that's
Yes.
where we're coming from, and that's why this was even a subject. And I didn't. It wasn't my subject, but I'm grateful for it.
Was it
Well,
mine?
so what is it? So a man thinketh, so is he. So
Mm.
I think that he should have watched the movie.
True. So we could leave it at
I'm gonna
that.
watch the
You
movie.
know,
I said I think he should have been the one since he said
Oh,
one of
yeah?
us.
Yeah.
I think he should have been the one
yeah,
to watch.
I
it.
think
Well,
so
I was
too.
gonna go watch it.
I
I don't
agree.
even know how I didn't
Yeah.
watch it yet.
You should have watched
I
that
don't know
movie.
how I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah. Shame on you.
Shame, no, really shame on me.
listen.
I remember when that trailer first dropped for the movie.
How often are we getting a chance to get to the movies like that? You know what I mean? And then if you gotta order it on TVs, what about $20 or something? It
I
ain't
still
too
get a
bad.
chance.
But yes, how you doing, Ebony?
Hey guys,
Hey, honey, what do you got to say about everything?
I just wanted to weigh in a bit. There is an ethical queen in the movie.
Oh, Ebony, we're having trouble hearing you, dear.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you a little bit.
I'm sorry. So in the movie, it's the representative of the title because there's an actual queen in the movie.
Hold on, Ebony. We're gonna make sure that we get to hear you, dear, because your opinion really, really matters. And Ebony will be helping us out with us hearing from you guys. And we would love to hear from you guys. So please feel free to comment, even like and share if you may. Love and share if you may.
Love and
We
share.
appreciate, yeah, love and
Word that,
share.
I like
Well, because
Yes,
it's the heart. She
indeed.
was going off of the heart and stuff.
So Ebony, we can't hear you, dear. You might have to yell at us.
Holler it out.
Yeah, just try again, Ebony.
What about now?
We hear you better.
Yeah, we hear you better.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I was just saying that the title is also propaganda because there's an actual queen in the movie and the women are calling themselves queens. And so it was really the title of propaganda.
So in the movie, they're also calling themselves king.
No,
Okay.
Oh.
Mm.
I didn't think they were, because even when they were talking about the king and
Right.
the king not wanting the women to fight, and they were like, "Well, we can do it," and the king didn't want to fight back, but they decided amongst themselves
Right.
that they were gonna do it.
And this is something like spin-off from the Black Panther, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yeah, that's what they were
Yeah, they were-
trying to, make it a lot lesser than it was, based off the feminine warriors that were in Black Panther. So there's a continuing theme, and we know how people turned out in Black Panther, right? But the difference in this one is that they really hyped up the screenplay about white women, and then they got a proper black director, and so that's what they did.
Okay, well, we heard some of that, sister, and we appreciate that. Please let us know if anybody comments, as we do welcome what you guys say. But if I'm not mistaken, you were saying, wait, I can't even put in a synopsis, dear, but we thank you for your view. I hope everybody heard that. Did you want to tell us again? Because something's going on with the echo. But we're getting it together, y'all. Again, this is our new platform.
We heard
we're
you.
yes.
People heard you.
Yeah.
It was heard.
It was her. How about that?
Amen.
All that said, y'all, I think that that's enough for that subject. What you think? What you think?
So,
'Cause,
That's enough. I could keep going, but you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got
So
something else
what,
you want to
what she
share.
said, did it change?
But
Dynamic.
what she was really going into
Mm.
was basically what the minister was saying, that they're using the title as propaganda, but
Gotcha.
the movie is totally
Okay,
different.
all right.
So
Which-
a lot of people
Mhm.
who watch the movie won't even care about what we saying, basically. They'll be like, but the movie was really good. And that's how
Okay.
Hollywood
Yeah.
distracts us.
But
basically,
that's-
with what-
Subliminal
where the
suggestion.
That's
minister was
exactly the
going with it.
problem.
Yeah.
Again, like we said, we didn't see the movie. We're not really even commenting too much on the movie. This title is enough propaganda in
That's the
itself,
title.
and it's not really fair.
Right, because for some people who will not even see the movie, they'll take that title and like the minister said, we could have some of those little twists of
Oh,
things
yeah.
about it.
I guess we're gonna have Queen Charles.
Yeah, because if they might not ever watch the movie, but they can go with that woman king,
Yes.
man queen.
The man
Right,
queen
right, right.
coming to you in 2023.
You know?
Predicted by the minister. The man queen.
Man, I'm telling you.
If we don't say nothing.
And that's the whole point of this conversation, y'all. And some people are very sensitive about, people's sexual orientation or what they identify as. We respect people's views, but by all means, we only ask that ours be respected as
Yes.
well.
And can I say something to that? too?
Mhm.
See, gay people, homosexuals have been a part of culture since before the biblical days,
Mhm.
almost equal to prostitution and other things like that.
Yeah.
It's like the oldest stuff that's been going down.
Absolutely.
So, when a person chooses who and what, and how they want to be, that's their business. But
Absolutely.
what we're saying, we don't want someone to just shove it at us and just make us keep seeing it all day long. And
Thank
on
you.
Netflix, everything in Netflix is just that. It's nothing but that. It's almost if you wonder, was this movie really just based on sexual stuff or what?
Right.
All day long.
Mhm.
And so that's all we're saying. We don't, it's nobody pushing all day long, I'm heterosexual.
Mhm.
I'm heterosexual. Oh, yes,
Nobody
I'm
even talks
heterosexual.
about that.
All
Right.
day long, that's what we're supposed to say, right? That's a sexual orientation. We're talking about, are you a male or a female? And if you, even in that, look, male. Okay, female, still a male.
Mhm.
Man, then woman, they're still a man. But that
Absolutely.
man don't mean masculine.
Absolutely. We
And
see
man
someone
don't mean
comment, but we
feminine.
definitely, we seen someone comment. We'd like to see what that is.
It said, I haven't seen the movie and I didn't even really think too much into the name, but as you bring it up, I think it can be misconstrued into
Yes.
something else that relates to the LGBTQ type
Yes,
of
that's the
situation,
point.
maybe.
Yes, and it definitely can. We thank you.
That's what I was saying.
Jacqueline,
I hope I pronounced
it's
that right.
Jacqueline
Yes.
Williams, yes.
Jaquiana.
Jacqueline, that their name is nice with Jacqueline
Jacqueline.
And see,
Williams.
the enemy uses that as a weapon. We're not
Yeah.
trying to say anything about them if that's who and what they are, but don't take that and throw it at us as a weapon.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good
And
one.
just clarity, the enemy qualifies as those that are against the promoting of balance and what's good in life, and against the Black community. So and that could be our own people too. So y'all got to understand, as we are
Yes.
having this program and our ability to speak our minds,
Mhm.
there's so many subjects we got to talk about. Someone said, now this is Miss Vita Jr. She said, yes, I agree, but I will see this movie, but I will see this movie now. I wasn't going to see it, but now I will.
Yeah, I will too.
Most
Right, me too.
definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
see
So
it.
check the movie out. We definitely are not recommending that people don't see it,
That's
because we're
right,
gonna go
right.
see it ourselves.
Absolutely.
She said I wasn't going to see this movie, but now okay, right. You're correct, for sure. So yes, we're gonna change the subject, but we thank everyone for your comments. We welcome them. Please keep commenting and tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the Black View. I'm Sherry Soul. Y'all want to go ahead and say who you are? Go ahead.
Oh, Minister Raheem, the man of soul.
Hey, also known as Sax Preacher.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're the sex preacher.
And I'm Brenda
Keep me
Robinson.
sax preaching.
Brenda Robinson, and
I'm Minister Taharka J. Shakur.
absolutely. All that said, y'all, we got to talk about another subject. My goodness, is this tough one for me for so many reasons, because we are trying to figure out what is going on with these mass shootings in the Black community. Now, if I could start off and say something, I have a spiritual climate that I stay in internally. And when I hear things, I try to filter them out and not just, digest them. Meaning, you hear about a mass shooting. And unfortunately, in our communities, the go-to is what young Black man did this? What idiot from the Black community did this to their own people? So that is the default. And I believe that subconsciously has been programmed through not only media, the news being an outlet to really, really. And it's interesting when I heard that the news was like, someone said that it was an acronym for like Northeast, West, South. But even then, when you think about the stuff that's being circulated on the news, essentially people are accepting all of these things as truth. They're not, thinking to themselves, hey, what am I not hearing? What am I not knowing about? What am I not being told about this situation? So I'm mentioning that because there was a mass shooting somewhere on 51st of our back of the yards, and they saw that it was a white man. And there are other situations and scenarios from people that are other than what we would consider melanated individuals as far as, Black goes, whether they be Hispanic or Caucasian, or even we have heard about some situations where it's been our own people that have inflicted harm onto each other. So we just have to be careful, because nowadays we just don't know. We got to pray. We got to watch, fight, and pray. I don't know everybody's belief system that's watching, but it is very important that, if you have a source that you connect to, that you do your best to try to remain as positive as possible. Because I believe in energy, and I believe the more you letting certain things circulate into your mind and into your system, there's no telling what type of spiritual energy you're putting out there and what types of things you may attract to yourself. That might be a little sideline, but to get back to that subject, which is the same thing, but getting back to that, it is important that we are careful about where we are, but no one knows when something like that's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's the sad part, that we don't know when some idiot or fool or a demon or negative entity or energy decides that it wants to inflict harm on innocent individuals. Therefore, it is important for us to not only know that is something to be on the lookout for. We need more people on the lookout. We need more security at events. And when I say security, there might have to be certain situations where people do have to, I don't know. Then again, with security, that's the sad part. You just don't know.
They armed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, what you mean,
I believe
security
in
at
arms.
places, some of these shootings are not at events,
Yeah.
just happening in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
and that's what
There's
I
no
was.
security just in the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's
in
the sad
particular,
part.
this was one of my subjects, and I was speaking particular of, because I don't watch the news anymore. I mean, because I'm
That's
going to
good.
hear it anyway
Mhm.
around me or see a little bit on social media.
Yes.
But I was saying to you guys earlier, in my neighborhood, the lights were off on our block for a long time. And when we called, they kept saying they're going to be on shortly, and they were off for over a week. And then I heard someone say that with the lights dark like that, and like sitting on our porch, we couldn't see people walking up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I hear conspiracy theories, and I try to not buy into them, but it had me thinking that, like, and I'm going to say they, and that's left to your interpretation.
Mhm.
They don't mind our lights being off in our neighborhood, on our block, a whole block. As a matter of fact, it was 2 blocks. They don't mind that. That's going to create a little crime in our area. I heard some young men saying that that's like recipe for disaster, you know, like,
Mhm.
It is.
because it's, especially if it's off like 2 days, okay.
Right.
But then now they're saying it's off 3 days and it's off some more. So those
Yeah.
who want to commit crime, they have a space of 2 blocks
Yeah.
to come in, and women getting out of their cars, you know,
All of
kids,
that.
you know, all of that. So it got me to wondering. And then I saw this article about 2 police officers that were facing charges because they had shot an unarmed man. And I think what they found out was through the cameras or something in the area,
Right.
they saw their story wasn't real. So then I started thinking, man, so we got this going on. We got us in our neighborhoods.
Right.
And then we got policemen doing things in our neighborhoods
Mhm.
so that it could look like we did something. They
Oh, I
said
gotta
this,
go radical with this one.
Man,
we-
Yeah.
man,
We-
that-
we-
that- that's
Man,
bad
we're
for
ignoring
us,
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely.
Can the next baby boomer say something? Two millennials over here. I hate them terms.
So-called
That's-
millennials.
That's
Okay.
why I say that, because I know I already.
I say
Buy into
so-called.
that. That's why
Right.
I
Me
say
Got a
either.
boomer.
We're gonna figure out what that is.
No,
Alright.
y'all not
But
the,
anyway,
y'all wasn't the booming generation. Y'all are the babies of
Oh,
the
yeah.
of the
boomers.
boomers.
Yeah.
Y'all parents had the
They were
2015
Yeah.
children, such and such.
That ain't our subject, so
generation.
we
I know,
Okay.
but
You done went off and put that on the card or something. Anyway, check this out now. Please don't go into the conspiracy theory thing, but now, you know that Caucasians, based on the way they raise their children, some parts about their culture is embarrassing to them. And because of that embarrassment, the only way to balance it is to serve that same culture to us, such as we used to discipline our children in the public, at the grocery store, things like that. They would say time out. But they looked at really out of order and crazy, so now they make it a law that they can't, nobody can whip their children.
can't whip children no more, so we
Everybody
don't look
gotta say
crazy.
time out.
Mm.
In the past, we always talked about mass killings,
Mhm.
being white people,
Mhm.
and they killed 10, 15, 20 people.
If not more.
In our community, we've always had 5 people, 6 people getting shot somewhere, this and that. Why they want to tag the term mass killings on us now?
Mm. Yeah,
see that?
yeah. It's a lot of that. I mean,
So they
back
tagging
to
us with
words.
mass, but we always was doing it since the 90s, but it wasn't called mass killing.
Back to
And
words.
even all the way back to the time of Al Capone them doing their drive-bys on
Yeah, they were
Valentine's
called
Day and
that.
things like that. They didn't call it
No,
that.
they
Like when the
now-
news.
For people get shot, a mass killing in our community.
Mhm.
But what about that grocery store? When
Well,
that
that's
white man
look,
went in
that's
there,
where I was going.
when the man shot about 10, 15.
That's
Mm.
where I
That
was
mass
going.
killing.
We ignoring
See?
the
So they want to
Wicked white
equalize.
hand.
They want to equalize their thing with ours
Mm.
in our situation, and it's not the same.
Yeah, it's like the news when they say when it's a young white male that does it, it's like a troubled teen or I don't know,
Right.
all
They say
types of
trouble-
different terms.
troubled
Yes.
youth.
Right.
Something like that. And then when
Right.
it's us, it's
When
a
it's us,
thug,
it's
it's
18,
you know, you name
It's a
it.
man.
Yeah,
18-year-old
yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So that it's less empathy, but you know,
Yes.
when we think about
Yes.
anything in a humane sense, I
Yes.
mean, we are all people. In the end of the day, there is some of what Black people are experiencing that other people just cannot relate to because they don't have those same troubles, fears, or worries.
Thank you.
But again, that's not fair
Right.
and by any means. And it is important that we have platforms as such to discuss it and to offer perspective. And Ebony, did you have anything that you want to say about that?
I want to hear from them.
Oh yeah, we
That's-
gotta hear
it's-
something. Good.
Ebony
Yeah, we
on
gotta hear
screen.
something. That's why I'm missing. Uh-huh.
I was
Hey, Ebony.
making a comment. That Dominguez said that yes, we are experiencing spiritual warfare.
What you saying?
No,
I
they-
Yeah, we can't
Turn- turn
hear
yourself
you.
down.
Oh, we got a guest.
Another
gotta
guess?
guess.
Oh, we got a guest. Okay.
Y'all see our
Okay, yeah,
guest?
see, don't mention it yet. Don't mention it yet.
I know how people be when we get somebody on the phone. They always talk. Oh, we got this person coming to you. We ain't gonna tell you who it is, but we got a guest coming later. We got somebody special coming
Oh,
later.
yeah.
So what's your spin on the mass killing?
See, when I brought it up, see, the reason why I wanted us to discuss this, because it seems like we're not having the conversation in the way that it really should be presented. In the temple, we know a lot of these shootings is funded by the NRA. We can't ignore it.
Mm.
The reason why I say this, I'm still trying to find the gun manufacturer, the bullet manufacturer that Black people own to supply the guns to our people, first and foremost.
Right.
Secondly, as a child, I remember a moment when we talk about the news and it seemed like they story spin. Well, I seen the police in a shootout with some guys on the other block. These were police in the shootout. By the time it made it to the news, they killed all the guys. By the time it made it to the news, they said it was a gang fight that broke out and such people was dead. And me and my sisters, we looking at the news like, wait a second. Yes, we shouldn't have been out there, but we watched this happen. And they covered it up. So that's one thing. A lot of these mass shooting in our communities, one, is not us. Two, we ignore something that we went right before COVID that was coming out of them getting in these masks and painting themselves to look like Black people. They start exposing this.
Right.
But they are hiring people to start gang wars inside of our community.
Yes.
And they are pinpointing and making it seem like this group did it.
Yeah.
And so now y'all have to retaliate to that. Then take it a deeper level. You mentioned one of them, but that irked me to my core. When that young man had a whole manifesto on Facebook.
Yes.
Where he talked about what he was going to do. Where he said, and he went to these places in the Black community to what they call it, when you scouting the area out, he scouted out, saying he surveils the area to then go do the shooting and killed 12. What was
There
it?
you go.
All in the same grocery store. Nobody was there to stop him. We think about the church a few years ago that was shot up. He did the exact same thing, put all this information on Facebook, but nobody decided to stop him. These are people who are also getting away with it. Or that young man who came all the way out of town, up into Illinois, to then shoot at one of our protests, then go right back home and don't nothing happen to him. When he had a whole manifesto, and again, I'm using the word manifesto for a reason, because there are manifestos of things that they plan to do to the Black community.
Absolutely.
And no one is bringing this information up. No one is crying out. No one is saying anything pertaining to this situation of white racism still existing, very prevalent today in America, and targeting Black communities, small Black communities, because this not happening in no major Black communities. You can dare one of these white racists to come into Chicago, think they about to shoot up one of the Black churches in Chicago. Many of the brothers in the church might be carrying pieces, but you go to one of these little small towns, right next to one of these little, again, these are our personal opinions, this little cracker city right next to it, right? I'm Minister to Arca, the Toma Nation. We radical. When we
the opinions and views are that of each individual.
And we might not all agree with each other, but when you have these small towns right next to each other, they are targeted continuously. When a lot of people forget back in the day when those riots broke out, I am still waiting to hear back from a friend who told me what was happening down south. I haven't heard from him since that day he told me that the white people in his community were out in the streets gunning down any Black person they seen, and they had to bring up arms. This never made it to the news. I remember being on the phone with him and hearing the gunshots in the background. So we're talking about a mass war that is on somebody's agenda that is not being talked about. When you talk about the NRA president and him saying when he became the president, talking about by very soon we're going to have Black people as our slaves again. America, yes, he said this. You can find the article. We had it in the temple. The minister has it, and he shared it with me, where they have an agenda to reverse us back into slavery. Right. The same way how we were never valued is the same value. I had a brother of mine, and I end with this story. He got a cousin of his got into it in Oklahoma with these white guys, and they end up killing him. And when they went to court, what they said was, we got one of them niggers. We did our job. And guess what? They were acquitted for the murder, which means that there is still some agenda, because this was just back in 2012. There's still some agenda that is totally against something being done about Black people being murdered in America.
And I think that's the problem. People haven't recognized the transportation. Yes, how you doing? So thank you so much for that, Minister Taharka Shakur. What's up, Black Ice? Everyone, we want to welcome a very special individual. He is a amazing poet. I just got through dancing with the brother at Miss Africa Porter's birthday party. That was nice when you did that musical break, brother.
Yes, I appreciate that. Peace and blessings, family. How y'all doing?
Peace. We are doing well. How are you?
I am doing well. You know, that Africa celebration, boy, that was just a phenomenal celebration. I got to see so many brothers and sisters that I know and that I love and that I've been on this battlefield with. It was just powerful. You know, it was just powerful.
Shout out to Miss Africa Porter, a successful, amazing PR in Chicago. I've seen 5 or 7-time Emmy Award winner, but we love you, Africa. And back to you, Black Ice.
Yeah.
Before we go on, I do want to mention Miss Vita said, I've always believed that the police were doing most of the killings in our neighborhood since the 80s. Okay, yes. So sorry, because it hit on where I was at. Yes, Miss Vita, we've been hearing about that. And by all means, some people might say conspiracy, but there has been eyewitness reports of certain situations as such. So we have to keep these things in mind whenever we are viewing certain information that comes through our communities. We have to, like they say, don't believe the hype. Remember that? We had to look, there's messages that was given to us through, rap and through culture, because of all the things that have been seen and told that we just, digest. And it's not, the best thing to do. Mr. Black Ice, what would you like to say, your brother?
Well, we talked about the conspiracy of those who are in positions of power against our people. But I also like to give the other perspective that we have a responsibility amongst ourselves to do what Temple of Mercy Association has been doing, Brother Minister, myself, and my organization, Poet, People of Extraordinary Talent, have been doing, which is to educate our people.
Yes.
Because no one that's white is pulling is making the black finger squeeze on the trigger in our neighborhood. Now there are certain things that contribute to that. Minister Wesley Muhammad did a research study on how the highest crime neighborhoods also have the highest levels of lead poisoning in the water. So lead makes the human being aggressive. You mix lead with the loud marijuana, you mix lead with the pills, and you mix lead with the misinformed and miseducated people looking in the mirror thinking that the person whom they see that look like them is the enemy, because they really don't think too much of themselves when they look in the mirror and see themselves. We have to change undo, I should say, what has been done to our people for centuries and centuries of years is making black look ugly, making black look bad, and eventually making us hate ourselves.
Absolutely.
So let me start off with a poem called Chicago, since we're talking about our city.
Yes, sir.
Chicago. We had over 800 murders this year. Do your math, that's more than double the days there are in a year mothers fear their babies not making it home from school. Unemployed brothers ain't got time to look for a job, but got time to be on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, acting a fool. And these gangs out here ain't following no rules. They ain't got no structure, but they know exactly what they were doing when they denied parole for Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover. See, there's an old saying, cut off the head and the body would fall. Let this be a lesson to all y'all. And I'm appalled at some of these Chicago artists who boast to the world on how their lyrics be so cold. And some of them will get right on stage and talk about how God saved their soul, but won't get out here and go to none of these schools or get out here on none of these streets to even try to save just one soul. And the church, y'all didn't hear me. I said in the church, if you really dare to help save lives, then let me make a proposal. If the church you attend ain't involved in community affairs to help save lives, then damn it, stop paying your tithes. And as for the Black Lives Matter movement, you didn't think I was going to let you off the hook, did you? I believe that Black Lives Matter, but when a Black lives going to matter to Black people? March in the hood like we do downtown. Shut down some of these gas stations and liquor stores that have become breeding grounds for our babies to get shot down like you do those businesses on Black Friday downtown Chicago, home of the world champion Chicago Sky. The Bad News Bears, home of Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. See, I don't think y'all understand. What's going down in Chicago has always been about land, and I recognize the hustle. But did you ever notice that as soon as they tore the projects down, the crime rate in Chicago doubled? Displaced these gangs to go live where those gangs live. Let them kill one another. So what if an innocent baby gets killed? We'll go to the funeral and send flowers to the mother. In the meantime, let the land on the south side and the west side become devalued. And there ain't no scholar, but in our community right now, they selling vacant land for just $1. And like the land that the projects used to stand on, they're going to build retail spaces and condos. And while we're addicted to Facebook, Instagram, Loud, and Twitter, our babies are addicted to nachos and cheese. And little baby Chucky say cheese, Chicago. We had almost 800 murders last year. And we have a responsibility to come out of the nightclub and get in these streets. Get out of the four walls of the church and be like the OMIB and get in these streets. Get off of your social media soapbox and get in these streets. See, we all like to talk the talk and we love for our voices to be heard. But when are you going to realize that it's our actions that speaks louder than our words? That's that piece.
That I like.
We appreciate you dearly,
I
brother.
like
That
that.
was beautiful, needed, necessary, all of that wrapped up in one. We appreciate that, man. I did want to mention to Miss Pamela Dominguez. She mentioned, she said, yes, we are experiencing spiritual warfare. Watchmen in the natural and spiritual. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what I said earlier. You know, I'm not quite sure what everybody believes in. A lot of people have different beliefs, but you know, spirit is spirit. We're all energy before we are our names. And there's so much that you can do as an individual, like he said in that poem, you know, get out here sometimes. A lot of people are just not there's stuff that we do in the background spiritually, you know, when we feel like we can't get outside and talk to certain individuals. But like he said, there are people that empower in the power and the position to get out in the streets and really make these young men and women understand their worth and the different resources that they can have. Because again, when you put your resources together, there's enough abundance for everybody. But unfortunately, you know, this capitalistic society has created so much of the cat and the mouse effect. And a lot of people are just trying to get it out here, however they get it, and not really, you know, eating with each other and figuring out how to break bread and how to.
And you know, when it comes down to it also, is that whether you believe in religion or not, some people don't, you believe in universal law. You believe that there's a positive and that there's a negative, right? And like most outlets that you plug into the wall, it has three prongs. It has the positive, it has the negative, and it has the ground.
Mhm.
And what we have to instill in our young people is to be humble, to be grounded, to be that ground that won't let that negative overpower the positive that's inside of it. But it all comes with knowledge of self. It all comes with love of self. It all comes with our brothers and our sisters, such as you and the brothers that you have on that show, to get out here in these schools You know, if we could teach pregnancy in schools, we could teach young people not to kill themselves in the schools. That should be a part of the curriculum.
You
What
know,
happens is that we wait too long until they get too old. And then when they get 13 and 14 years old, they're already poisoned with so much negativity. Y'all remember the young brother Yummy? I think he was 12, 13 years old.
yeah.
And he was terrorizing the whole neighborhood until finally someone actually ended his life. But when I see things like that, and the assassination of the other young man who was 9 years old, I forgot the young man's name. They was looking for his father and assassinated him. These are things that should not be tolerated in our community. And every church that's in communities that are dealing with this crime rate and these issues, if they're not involved, we need to shut these churches down.
Man, thank
They
you so
take the money of our people. They fill their collection plates, but they don't get out here and get involved in the community. So it's just as we're diligent against the white folks who are in power, who are leading the oppression of our people, we have to be as aggressive with our own people that are in those same positions that are doing nothing with the power and the resources that they have as well.
I agree.
Well, we love you so much, Black Ice,
Yes.
for your comments and your piece. We sorry that we had to let you go, but we have to continue on with the show. But he made some very, very important points.
Yes.
100%.
One of the points that he closed with that was very important, that it's on us.
Yes.
Not only on us to uplift our community, but also to call out the people that's a part of our community that we see doing the damage in our community. We cannot ignore
Doing nothing.
or doing nothing about the damage that is happening in our community. It is no more time for negotiations for the life of our people and our children. And one of the other major points as we will slowly get off of mass shootings in the Black community is how to educate our children. That we send them into these schools, but they're not giving them the cultural understanding that they need. They're not giving them the tools that are truly needed from them, not to live in this world, but to live amongst us. See, they're taught to live in this world, and the way this world wants them to be. Don't think they're not. This world wants our children to do two things: be in jail or in the grave. If you think I'm wrong, that's what they third grade ISAT test is for. Which ones can we benefit from our system, and which ones are going to just be cogs in our system. That's why we have the highest dropout rate. That's why about 90% of our children, I might be giving it too much, but I know 90% of my friends have a record. But 90% of our youth, before they hit the age 18, the reason why we have the highest unemployment rate in America is because Black men between the ages of 18 and 24 already have a record where most people won't hire them because this system has been set up for, again, two things: them to go to jail or them to be in the grave. If that's not those two things, they don't want to really deal with us.
Yes. Oh,
So how
man,
can we
it's
deal
like I
with
said, it's
they?
heavy.
I think we
How can we deal with they and them and all of that? How do
Listen,
we are they and them. We are. part
Oh,
of
we
they
could
and
go
them.
into they and them as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
We
absolutely.
gotta do something to it. I'm just stuck with them with the churches because I believe when the pandemic hit and the churches closed, I kept saying, well, why aren't the churches just out in the street? Just in the street. I mean,
Because
it was to me, it was like a no-brainer. Just let's come outside.
They're not doing what their main prophet did, which is his ministry was in the street.
in the street.
That's right.
Yeah, that's still
Yeah.
needed. So I'm finished with that because that's my thing there. But he said that I could have just hugged him. That's my thing. The
Thank you
street,
so much
get in the
again,
street.
Black Ice. We love you. We appreciate you. And we're gonna let Black Ice sign off for a second, just because we're gonna go into this next subject. So yes,
Yeah.
Black Ice, tell them where to find you at, brother. Man.
Yeah, so the spelling of black is BLAQ because I believe in the Lord, but I ask questions, BLAQ. So BLAQICE. You can find me on YouTube at Black Ice TV. You can find me on Facebook at Black Ice Chicago. And you can find the website and everything that I have coming up at blackice.com. And I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank
Love you
brother.
too. Peace to love and light,
Peace,
brother.
peace.
All right. Yes, indeed, y'all. So
Yeah.
y'all heard it from him. So our next subject, hyphenated names for men. What is
Our last
this?
subject, right?
No, we got.
Well, we
Yeah,
got a
this is
couple
the last
more.
one.
Oh,
This is
might
the
be our
last
last one.
No,
Okay.
for today. Yeah.
Okay, well, man, I'm having so much fun with y'all, man.
Can we
Time
start off
flies.
as a question?
So yes,
For the two men.
well, it says, what is this? Hyphenated names for men. Now, let me tell you something. I don't know much about this, y'all. I've heard a little bit. I could offer a little bit of opinion, but you said you wanted to start off.
Well, no, I
y'all.
was saying the men because technically it's accent hyphenated names for men.
Mhm.
So basically, what you typically get is women hyphenating their names to keep their surname, their
Mhm.
maiden name.
Mhm,
right?
absolutely.
So now you have men doing it the other way around.
Okay.
They're hyphenating their partner's name onto their name.
Okay. Can
That's.
someone give me an example? Can you say a name?
Well, I won't
Do
even
you
say
know
a name.
anybody?
No, we ain't gonna even go into knowing anybody.
No, not
We'll do
know
it like
anybody.
this. It'd be like if I was to marry you, Sherry,
Uh-huh.
I would add my name would become Theodore Miles Carter hyphenated Sullivan.
Okay. So yes. Okay. So again, I did hear was the last names. All right. What happened? Where did the streaming platform go?
She's like, wait,
Right on the part. Right on the part.
Wait,
Where you said.
she said, wait, where did my resource just disappear to? She said, that was helping.
Yeah, I didn't see it. It's all good, y'all.
He was going to find people with names.
No need. Just in case, because we don't want somebody watching this and be like, hey, that's my name.
You know
Listen.
what?
Mhm.
We're dealing with the replacement theory. Keep going.
Okay. We're gonna revisit that. So y'all, back to this, hyphenated name situation. Like I said, the opinions and views are that of each individual. And a lot of times we are asking these questions because we want to get to know your opinion and your view of the situation. We don't really know, but there are some theories behind some of the reasons that we may see certain things that we are talking about. As this subject prevails, let's kind of get into that. So what's your thoughts, sex preacher? Hold on, everybody brace yourself. We should have some special theme music for sex preacher.
He's feeling wild and
Dum,
something.
dum.
Oh, yeah, what we
He's
said
feeling a
earlier.
little wild.
You
But
feeling wild.
normally, it usually is brother
me.
here.
Okay, yeah.
And because he won't hear
Y'all-
it jumped on me.
I got both of the brothers right here too. So
And so, that's all. But when I mentioned the replacement theory, which means it's not a fact, but if you can go into your own mind and follow me, you'll see for sure that what I'm about to say is happening.
Mm.
Now,
Oh wow, okay.
men with hyphenated names. What, somebody wrote something about?
Pam gave a better explanation of what's really going on.
I'm probably gonna say it. I don't know. I didn't
But
say it.
I want you to say what you say.
Right,
then
right.
we gonna read her comment
Right,
later. It
right.
can stay on the
I
screen
didn't
for
say
them,
it.
but not for you.
So now,
Mhm.
what I'm looking at is this. There was a time when, y'all probably don't like to hear it, but there was a time when a woman had a baby, and they had that baby in that little nursery place where they first put the children. If it's a boy, you would know your child because they have on blue. And if it was a girl, come on, my line, I'm telling the truth. If it was a girl, you knew it was a girl because the girl had on pink, right?
Mhm.
Everything was placed in a certain way so that it was not hard for us to really recognize what's going on.
Mhm.
There, see, at one time, I have to say the white man and the white woman
Mhm.
in their fighting with one another, the white woman was in competition with him.
Mm.
Now that she done proved she's equal to him, now she wants to replace him.
Mm. Mm.
All right, so you and Pam wasn't in
No,
agreement.
I didn't put my last piece on there though.
I know, I'm just messing.
It's my last part. It's my last part.
Mhm.
What you were just saying earlier
Mm-hmm.
was relegated to women.
Yeah.
My wife, her name, and she used to put on all her stuff. Then her maiden name, then the hyphenated, whatever you call it, Wilson.
Mhm.
That was relegated to women, right?
Mm.
So now you place it on a man, but in a sense, you're saying a feminine man.
Oh, you
Yeah,
are in agreement with her. Now I gotta read her statement. She said most is two men that are married showing each other's one's name.
And he tried to,
He did get that.
I mean, it was gonna go there,
He say,
I mean, that was the thought.
That's crazy.
and it was gonna
It's
go
not
there.
really going there. Okay.
Yeah.
It was on point.
I mean,
Mhm.
not that every man is, that's the reason behind it.
Look
Every man
at it.
doing
Right.
that. I bet you
But
that's,
I bet you're not gonna find
A heterosexual.
that outside of that community.
Mm.
I bet you won't.
okay, let me read
Because
what
see,
what I said.
have, this is last part, I'm through, and I got proof here, but these are women. These are women. I have a cousin. She lives in LA. And she's
Just called your
married.
cousin. Okay, go ahead.
She's married to a lady, both of them. And when she introduced me to the lady, she said, "This is my wife."
Mhm.
And when the wife spoke, if she ever was going to say something about my cousin, she said her husband.
Mm.
So she took on the masculine name. And so now the girl, her name is whatever, her maiden name, and then she took on my cousin's last name.
Mhm. Because
We got
people,
So
got
we
2
still
minutes.
saying that
because people at time.
that they're erasing masculinity as if it's some sort of a bad something to be. That's what they're
But when
doing.
it's two men, okay.
They're erasing it. Even when it's two women using the hyphenated name, it don't look as bad because it's in a feminine atmosphere like. So they can do that.
Mm.
But then when the two men do it, then it's like if both men are gay, you're already thinking that they both gonna be from a feminine perspective in a sense, right?
Mm.
Yeah, most times.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna put that hyphenated name on there. Now, if they say all men is doing that, I would say that person is lying, and you must be looking at Wikipedia, because Wikipedia.
I haven't heard that one before. That's good.
Check. Wait.
No,
wait.
I wasn't
No, it looked like she
checking.
went
No, I
down to
was
the bottom of the
not
website.
checking.
Like, is this
I was not. I was just making my screen stay.
So be careful what Wikipedia says.
Gotcha.
No,
Well, go ahead, Miss
I'm just
Miss
gonna say
Robinson.
this is just one view anyway. They commemorated the combining of family fortunes and affiliations by marriage when there were no male heirs to the estate in the bride's line. The name could be used by the husband, usually done if he was from a family less well off than the bride's.
So basically, that's interesting. I was gonna mention Game of Thrones
Lady level of
Oh. I guess there was
That's what
a.
I'm talking about.
because
That's what
it's
sounds
happening in Game of Thrones.
Okay.
like.
Okay.
If the woman's making more money than the man,
If she powerful, when you marry
Right.
for power,
Mhm.
if her family more powerful,
Right.
he get her name.
right? That's what.
Okay.
That's
I
what
mean,
With that said,
that's-
see,
no, that's a-
that's
that's
an
perspective.
saying.
That's the European thing, though.
That's
Yeah.
perspective, and it's
Black people
important to
don't
have
really
that.
got power to marry into.
That's
All
not-
right,
that's not
y'all.
nice. We do.
So if Oprah Winfrey get married, the Stedman gonna be Stedman Winfrey.
Winfrey.
He's a billionaire.
There's a
What he needs to get her name for?
and this ain't about that, but
No, I
that's
think I
conspiracy.
got
I think that's her friend. We're gonna leave. I think that's her friend. I think that's her friend, Stedman. We're gonna leave that alone. Okay, listen, y'all. We thank y'all for.
Okay, Gail Winfrey.
Stop.
No, I didn't say. Look, we weren't getting into all of that. Okay. Again, y'all, the opinions and views of everyone on the show are. I'm just kidding.
Theirs all.
But yes,
And we might
it
believe
is
some
our
black
own
people need
opinions, and we are so thankful for everybody that tuned in today, that commented, that called in. If you did, we thank Black Ice. We thank you,
Yes.
Ebony, for your contribution to the show.
Thank you.
And we want you guys to keep watching us. Love instead of like, love, subscribe, share, and please tell a friend to tell a friend about the Black View. This is a platform where we are able to discuss some, serious topics. And we have our so-called baby boomers, so-called millennials. Just kidding. And because again, it's whatever we call ourselves. But let's just put it this way: we have perspectives from people with different age ranges, different lives, different connections to their own experience. And so it's a beautiful thing to hear, not only from us, but from you all. We
Yes.
want to know what your opinions and your views are on these subjects.
Great grandparents, uncles,
Absolutely. All of that good stuff. All of that
daddy.
good stuff.
I'm just an uncle.
Yes. And we are grateful. Shout out to this
I'm
platform.
a great grandparent.
That's what I said, we got great grandparents, mamas,
Yeah.
daddies, and uncles.
Yes.
Yes. And we love you, Omari. We love you.
Omari,
Thank you for
producer.
everything. Yeah. Woo!
Producer.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Again, we go backwards. I am Brother Minister Taharka J. Shakur.
I am Brenda Robinson.
I am Brother Minister Raheem Kassed Aten, aka the legendary Sax Preacher.
He did it before I did it.
Much love. And I am Cherie Soul. And
A girl in the
Hey.
hood.
hey, your friendly neighborhood singer host.
Well,
I
we
make
was calling
jewelry.
Ebony the girl in the hood, but okay.
Hey, I make jewelry. A lot of times y'all gonna
we can ask you as well.
Hey.
Sherry.
Hey,
Queen Brenda.
Queen
Queen
Brenda.
Sherry.
Oh,
What if I
much
wanted
love.
to call myself King?
Oh,
Oh,
Wow.
oh,
funny for that one.
oh, she said, what does she want to call herself king?
What if I crown you?
Listen, y'all, keep watching because oh damn, this is the language.